welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And by our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and check them out at www.crowdplayapp.com for details. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show that loves just chasing that little white ball around the course, only on the Sports Box Network. I am Hamilton Mike Galletta, and this is teeing off along with the man, the myth, the legend, the golf pro at Trump National in Ariel, New Jersey. That is the one, Dave Cartwright. Mr. Dave, what's up?
Mike, how are you, sir? How's it going? Look forward to a great show. Great week of golf with the Players Championship coming off, one of the my favorite weeks of the year. Kind of the fifth major, so a lot of excitement coming down 16, 17, 18 with the water, the island green. So looking forward to the event. It's one of my favorites of the year, if not my favorite. So
yeah, I'm a kind of an open guy myself. Unfortunately, it's not for a while, or hopefully they have it this year. We didn't have it last year, but this is a good one. The Players is definitely one, and we will get into that along with the Arnold Palmer Invitational that we were talking about last week. First, I want to throw a big shout out to our boys over at CrowdPlay. Make sure when you sign up, you're putting in the box at sign up to get 10 free points. You're going to need them. It's very tough and very fun, so you're going to enjoy it. Our friend Dave Birnbaum, buy, sell, or rent with Dave in the ReMax community. Anytime you need a house, you're selling, buying, or just renting it all, call Dave Birnbaum at ReMax and the boys over at Showcase Sports in Hamilton, New Jersey. For the elite athlete, get in there. They will hook you up and take care of you. So, Dave, I got to tell you, I went out today on the lawn. It was such a nice day here in New Jersey. 64 degrees, whatever the case may be, no wind. And I put the 5-iron in my hand, Dave. I'm supposed to go to the doctor on Monday, but I put the 5-iron in my hand, and I was hitting some balls today. I hit about probably, about 7 or 8 balls today. Felt really, really good. No back pain at all after. I'm excited. That got the juice.
You're ready. You are ready.
Yeah. 6 months after back surgery, folks, L4, L5. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get back out there and start smashing them again. So
it's all that walking you've been doing in the morning, keeping that back nice and loose and ready to go, strengthen it up. So I love it.
Getting me in a large too from an XL, so that's nice too. So.
Oh boy. Perfect.
So, well, let's get to the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill, and a little bit of a shocker for me because I didn't think he could do it because he's kind of erratic. But Bryson DeChambeau wins the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. I guess what can you say about Bryson? Big hitter, was on point. Actually, round 2 and round 4. 71s. It wasn't kind of a runaway, but he had control of this. He
did, and I want to say that this was my pick to win it on. We can play back the. So I did pick him to win. So so we got to throw that in there. So I did pick Bryson to win. He was the second favorite to win. So wasn't going out on a limb here, but no, I think it was a big hitter's golf course, 74,000 yards, 7,400 yards. The wind was blowing. It was playing as hard as almost a major championship golf course would. 11 under won it. He shot even on the last day, I believe, to win it. So it was a true test of golf, and I think obviously his distance was a major factor and a major advantage in him winning. Obviously, we saw in the 6th hole, he drove it 370 yards. He had 70 yards in a par 5. So nobody else on the field was doing that. Listen, it was number 6 was playing a short par 5, but nobody had a wedge in. So, that's 2 strokes on the field right there. And he took advantage of his length and played well enough on Sunday. The course was playing very, very challenged, very, very hard, on Sunday. And the pin positions were very, very hard. And he was able to, I think, shoot even and ended up winning the tournament. So.
Yeah. So one of my coworkers up in Montreal, actually, Matt Jenkins, awesome to hear about my back. Thanks, Matt. And you guys were, pivotal along with all my other friends, helped me through this and, get me back on a positive track. You guys, hats off. 6 months. It's been a long road back. I call it the journey back, but it's coming to an end. The light's at the end of the tunnel. So I'm looking forward to playing some golf again. So, but just you spoke on something that I wanted to talk about too with Bryson's tee shot. 370, bomb of a shot. What even makes it even more of a shot is that he had to carry probably about 330, 340.
It was a 345 carry. Yep.
Yeah,
Over water. Pure water. Yes.
45 carry. Now I've hit the ball. I'm happy to say I've hit the ball. We'll see with the new Mike Galletta, but the old Mike Galletta, I was hitting the ball about close to 3. But that's with the roll. So you're talking maybe, I don't know, 270, 275 carry. But you're talking adding like almost 100 yards to that.
It's a different ball game. It's a different game, I should say. It's not. It's nothing that you and I, have seen or do. It's a different game. It truly is.
No, and people, if you don't understand, you can adjust your swing, and I'm sure Dave will tell you, he's probably seen it. If you adjust your swing even a little bit, or over here, or add a little bit, millimeters is going to make that big of a difference. And these guys have it down to a science where they're just generating so much speed from the top down and through. It's ridiculous. I could try as hard as I can, even with a healthy back, and I probably would never be able to do something like that.
You're absolutely right. Listen, Bryson DeChambeau, all these guys are professional athletes now. And he goes, he's in the gym twice a day. He's, training, he's doing. So it's, it's the golf swing, it's the technology, but I think it's more so it's these guys, how they're taking care of their bodies and truly training like a NFL linebacker would. So
isn't it the truth? Yeah.
I think that's part of it. I really do.
Yeah. Isn't it the truth? You talk about maybe golf even 20 years ago or even 15 years ago. There's no way they were doing stuff like they're doing now. Like you said, the workouts, the weight room, the core training. Just the work on the course. These guys are just dialed in every step of the way now. And it's showing in their play now. And if they take off a week and they don't have a good week, it's like, oh my God, look at this guy's terrible.
Exactly.
And that's what the way golf is right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, like I said, Bryson DeChambeau looks like a NFL linebacker. So that's why part of the reason why he's hitting at 370
with probably the weirdest putting and chipping style you'll ever see in your lifetime with this club.
Whatever it is working, right?
Hey, and Jim Furyk said it best: no two golf swings are the same. So that's a perfect example right there.
And, as most of our viewers know, if you ever see Jim Furyk swing a golf club, you think it's you'd probably throw it up in your mouth. But the guy shot 58 on the PGA Tour, so. Yeah, there you go. It doesn't. There's no pictures on the scorecard. So
yeah, exactly. Now you talk about second place, Lee Westwood. There's a name we haven't heard of or haven't talked about in a while. Lee Westwood, when Lee's on, he can surprise a lot of people, but he's normally right around the cut line, missing cuts here and there. Listen, he came charging out in day 3, and I didn't expect him to play as well as he did in day 3. 65 came storming to the front. Kind of bombed out a little bit at the end, 73. A lot of guys did, but 73 at the end, not enough. But hats off to Lee Westwood. Made a nice charge, only lost by 1.
Yeah, 48 years old. Again, a guy that probably has, he's climbed up. I think he's 31st in the world rankings right now. Started, he's probably moved up about 100 spots in the last 12 months. He was, he's one of those guys that. Probably one of the better players never to win a major, had a historic career over Europe, Englishman, but he's really recommitted himself back in the gym. So again, another guy that's 40 years old, he's in the best shape of his life.
Yep.
And now, he's hitting it 10, 15, 20 yards further, and doesn't like a lot, where he's not hitting a 370, but he's, hitting it further. Or, like I said, really committed himself back to the gym and sort of best shape of his life, and playing some of his best golf at 48 years old. Or not the best golf, but best golf he's played in probably 10, 15 years.
Yeah, definitely a game of inches, and every little bit, like we talked about, it definitely makes a difference with these guys. Every little bit makes a difference. One of our astute fans, Frank Toro, Sawgrass ain't having any of that stuff. That's right. We're going to get to Sawgrass. That's going to be like you said, that's a really nice course, and it's really going to challenge these guys. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Corey Connors, here's a guy in third that I've been looking at all year, especially in DraftKings. Here, he's consistent this year. He's been up in the top 30 when he's played, made a lot of cuts. I think he's only missed 2 cuts this year. So he, to his dismay, he's playing well. Unfortunately, they canceled the Canadian Open for the second time. So that won't be around, but Corey Connors, hey, Corey Connors and Adam Hadwin, I always look for in the courses.
Sure. Yeah. I would say Corey Connors, he is obviously a Canadian guy. He's, He won in Texas last year's first tour event, but this guy is one hell of a ball striker, and his stats tell you that. So it's not a mistake. This guy that was in third place. You're going to see him on leaderboards. As you said, Mike, he's a great DraftKings guy. He's a top 10 machine, and he's not going to, wasn't a fluke. He's a real deal, this guy. So
no, definitely got to look for it. And we'll run through some of the named guys here, but Jordan Spieth, when you say Jordan Spieth, doing it again. I mean, again, these guys struggled the last day. A lot of guys in the 70s. So, it wasn't like it was one or two guys. It was a lot of guys in the 70s. So, but, Jordan Spieth looks like, I don't want to say the Jordan Spieth of old, because that Jordan Spieth was, the next coming of Tiger Woods, supposedly. But he's gotten way better than he has the last 2 years. And that's a promising sign for golf, because another young gun, getting the putting back on track, getting his head straight, I think, looks like he's hanging around at the top now.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, listen, Jordan Spieth couldn't hit a fairway if it was 100 yards wide at some points last year. So his ball strike is substantially better. And as you know, the guy was from 15 feet. He was the best putter on tour. I mean, stats wise, and just anybody, if you need somebody to make a putt, that he was going to do it 15, 20 feet. And anyway, so he's putting a lot better. Confidence is back. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think between the years, he's not second guessing himself anymore. So, and as Jordan Spieth's back to major championship form, he's about 2 or 3 months away from that, and or a big win away from that. So,
sure, I think even if he gets number 2 again, it's going to really propel him up to the top, and he's going to. I don't know if he's going to have the run he did before, but I think he's going to be up there for a long period of time. I don't think he's going away anytime soon. So I think that's a good sign for golf. And some notables, Chris Kirk, Jason Kokrak, another guy who's up there all the time. Our boy Will Zalatoris, there he is. Will back in there again.
There we go. He's my
Max
top 10 guy. So yep.
Max Homa is having another solid year again. Okay, so my friend Steve Pfeiffer wants to comment, and can Gene Sarzan finish in the top 10 this week? I'll leave that with you, Dave. What do you think?
Well, if he comes out of the grave, he might have an impressive finish this weekend. So we'll leave it at that. So
only questions like that you can get on Teeing Off. That's beautiful. So hats off to Steve. We probably won't show any more of his questions, but anyway. So Matthew Fitzpatrick, talking about Paul Casey, Charlie Hoffman, Rory McIlroy, 10, Tommy Fleetwood. Actually, Tommy Fleetwood with a 10 spot. That's pretty good for Tommy in last go. He struggled this year. He's had a rough week. And I'm going to ask you one more, because I want your opinion on this. What do you think of Keegan Bradley? Do you think he's a guy to look for maybe week to week in DraftKings, or is he kind of up and down all over the place?
He is a guy that, since obviously the change in the putting, the putting ban on the anchoring ban, excuse me. He was one of the original guys to have the anchoring putter. Now he has a longer putter that he can't anchor, and he really struggled at the beginning going to getting away from the anchoring with his putting stroke. He sort of adjusted to it. He has a longer putter. He's not anchoring it. His putting is getting better literally by the day. It's just. He lives and dies. Again, great ball striker, lives and dies by the putter, and more importantly, that change to the longer putter and not be able to anchor it. So I'm not sold on him yet.
And correct me if I'm wrong. When guys switch putters, I mean, it's good. It's good long term for them, because it takes a little while to get used to. Just like anything else, you just got to get the feel and the touch and all that stuff. But the only guy to really fight through that, to change, I think, multiple times with the putter from the stand up to the regular putter, was Adam Scott. And I think he's done a really good job of staying consistent with that.
Yeah, he did. You're absolutely right. And there were guys that, Keegan Bradley, kind of case point. There are guys that Webb Simpson was a guy that struggled when they changed, but he's obviously made the adjustment. Webb Simpson, Adam Scott, guys that have taken. I mean, we're talking about years. We're not talking about months for them to make that adjustment. So
yeah, because I remember Adam Scott with the stand up. I mean, he was really starting to get in rhythm, and then they had the whole anchoring thing. He went back to a regular putter, and he struggled, but he didn't struggle that it was destroying him putting wise. He was hanging in there on courses. You could see he was working hard for putts, but he wasn't the same person. And then he went back to the stand up, and and then he went back to the regular putter again, and he's been fine. So it's kind of, that's the kind of mental focus it takes on the tour nowadays. So stuff like that. But Arnold Palmer, nice event. Bay Hill. What can you say? Very
good field. Yep, invitational. Yep, absolutely.
Yep, very nice. So, and we move on to this week, like you said, Dave. Nice course, the Players Championship at TPC Sawgrass. Now, as the veteran here in the way of the golf pro shop and things to that effect, I'll let you talk about the Sawgrass and how beautiful it is.
Yeah, well, Sawgrass, I unfortunately have not played it. I've been on the property, but I haven't played it. But TPC Sawgrass, one of Pete Dye's sort of original projects, obviously built in, I think, 70s, late 70s. Been redesigned a couple times.
I was going to say redesigned a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, he knew it was sort of the first course built that he built and/or was built in golf that was fan-friendly, really built to, house fans. And with the stadiums and kind of the banked edges and so on and so forth. So, it was kind of that. It was built to host a tour event. So, very fan friendly. The fans are close. Obviously, everybody's seen, the video of Tiger hitting the big putt on 17 and about 20 years ago, and the fans are going nuts. So it's just that's what it's about. So it's sort of built. The event and the golf course were really catered to the tour event and/or the fan experience. So that being said, as far as the golf course, it's 7,200 yards, which is about average by tour standards. It's a very much sort of a target / shot making golf course. So it's not your big hitters golf course.
No,
it really isn't. It's your shot making guys, like a Phil Mickelson. That he won it years ago. Rory McIlroy, I know he hits it, he's up in the top 5 of driving distance, but sort of the shot making guys that can curve it both ways. And you don't need distance here, you need accuracy. So
right, I was just going to say, this is the kind of course why it makes this event so good, is because it's not a bomber's course. You don't just see guys hitting the ball 340, and that's great for a lot of people. And it's who licks a long ball and stuff. Yeah, but this is a course where you got to be accurate. If you're not accurate, it's going to cost you. It's really going to put you in a bad spot moving forward, and you're going to have to keep up with a field that's it's going to be loaded. I'm really surprised Bryson's playing this week. I know it's a big event, the Players, but I mean, normally back-to-back events. I guess being a major, you got to push the needle sometimes. So
it is. Yeah, it's just as it's truly the 5th major. It's not a major, but it's the 5th major, and it's truly is. The prize money, I think it's the highest prize money they play for all year. Yeah. Strongest field. So it's played on the same golf course, but again, you get the major championship field, you get the major championship feel, and more importantly, the prize money is major championship money. So not many guys are skipping this.
Yeah, so I thought we talked about this last year a little bit about the schedule. I know they redesigned the schedule last year to accommodate for some different things, and what's going on and everything. And I'll say I don't in certain events like the schedule the way it's laid out, but do you like the schedule now? Because there were some events before that you had before major that were kind of there that guys wouldn't attend because they would get ready for the Players. Now you have like the Arnold Palmer. Kind of forces you to play back to back now. So do you think that's a good thing for golf, or do you think that's kind of hinders the players a little bit?
Well, that's a very good question, Mike, and I think it's a little bit of both, because we're talking about 4 or 5 weeks of phenomenal fields, great tournaments, a lot of great golf. That being said, we're going to struggle. There's going to be 3 or 4 events in a row that don't have the caliber of fields or the clout. And you're going to sort of lose interest in golf. Is it packed in a little too much? Yeah, I think so. Is it a good idea to have Bay Hill with the Genesis Invitational? Basically 5 out of 6 weeks these guys are playing. I'd rather see a little spread out a little bit more. And as you said, the week before major, Tiger notoriously has never played he's never plays in a event prior to a major. And this is not a major, but it is major. So I'd like to see it spread out a little bit more. I know it's based on sort of proximity with COVID, things like that. They're doing the Florida swing. They were in Orlando last week and they're Jacksonville. It's all close. They're not, flying people in from other countries, blah, blah, blah. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But I'd like to see spread out a little bit more to answer your question.
Yeah, I think they do that though because they want some of the events like that probably either don't get a lot of play or aren't at big events. They want to try to mix it up a little bit and keep them all relevant so I can keep the sponsors happy and all that good stuff. So, because there's some events out there that hardly anybody goes to and things like that. With things like that. So that could be a reason too. So we'll get into the field and our picks. So, let's, we could probably just roll them out and talk about them a little bit. We can give, I'll say 4 picks and then, your winner. The 4 picks, I'm thinking, top 20, maybe right around the top, and your number 1 guy. Who do you think is going to win?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just, sorry, I have my notes here, but so I'm looking at, I'm going to throw out my winner right away because I'm pretty confident with this. I'm going to go Xander Schauffele. He's, I think where is he on this board? So he is 20-1.
Yep.
And again, not the longest guy as far as driving distance, but accuracy, ball striking, putting. He's very, very much a thinker out on the golf course. When I say thinker, he's on just get up and just blast the ball. So I think he is my winner this week. As far as guys that, again, top 20. And again, this field is so strong, there's not going to be too many guys that are going to come out of nowhere to win this or be a top 10 or top 15 because the field literally is, stacked from beginning to end here. So I'm going to go top 10. We'll go Justin Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Again, these are all guys that are, probably top 10 in the DraftKings. I'm going to go Patrick Cantlay, who won the Memorial last year. That's my 3rd pick. And my 4th pick is going to be Tony Finau, who kind of against what I was saying is a little bit of a bomber. That being said, I just think he's due and too good of a player and does like strong fields and, and harder golf courses. So I think he's sort of my 2nd pick, even though I picked him 4th here, sort of my 2nd pick for a top 5 guy.
Question coming in from host Paul McCree of the Sports Box. It's a shame Brooks got injured again. He wins the Waste Management, started to feel like he was getting back to prime form, and now this is a roadblock. And we talked about this last week, Dave, about Brooks. Is he back, do you think? And you had said, well, I don't know. And I thought he had some work in the offseason on the knee, and I thought he was a little bit better. But, I mean, here we go again. It's a shame. This guy's a beast in majors, too. I would love to see him in the Players' Championship. So
me too. It's a shame, and he's good for golf because he's sort of the guy that says he doesn't really care about making friends out there.
Yeah,
he's all about winning, and he sort of has that Tiger mentality. And as Paul said, he's he's out, he's injured again, and I hate to say I don't see that changing. I wish I did, but I don't see it changing.
Yeah. So my top 4 guys, I'm going to go with a little bit like yours. Maybe throw in a dark horse or 2. I'm going to throw in Adam Scott because I think Adam Scott's the kind of guy who can play up to the level this year. He's been in an event like this. I think he can definitely come around in day 2 or day 3. Slow starter, but yeah, I definitely think in day 2 or day 3 he'll be around. The next one I'm going to go with is Sunjae I think he's another guy who can get up there. Who I've been trying to kick him in the butt and get him going again. He's got to play some good golf. He didn't play it well last week, but he's got to play some better golf coming up. I'm going to go with Patrick Cantlay. I think it's a course that kind of favors up to him.
We agree on that one. Absolutely.
Yep. I'm going to go with Webb Simpson because I think Webb's a little underrated, and I think this is the kind of course he can get back on track. And
2018 champion.
Yep. And my winner, and we're going to agree on this. So I'm going to say Xander Schauffele as well. I think it sets up.
You heard it here, folks. Well. You heard it here.
That's right. I think it sets up really well for him, and he's right there. He's on the edge of breaking through this guy, and when he plays well, he plays well. He's just got to get out front early, I think. And if he gets out front early, I think he can hold on to the lead. Even with a field like this, I think he can just play sharp and just keep it going. So you heard it here first, but we're both on the Xander Schauffele bandwagon. So that's good. So next week, if he wins, you don't have to shoot me down.
I can't brag as much as you get to brag as well. So
exactly, we both can do it. So that's all the time we have. Man, another half hour just blows by talking golf. It's unbelievable. So we want to thank you for watching Teeing Off. We really appreciate it. Our boys over at CrowdPlay. Sign up with the box, get 10 free points. A good time. Showcase Sports in Hampton, New Jersey. Check out their lineup. They got for the elite athlete. Go in there. They'll take care of you. They'll do whatever they have to do for you. They're really great people. So check them out. And Dave Birnbaum, buy, sell, or rent with Dave in the ReMax community. So, Dave, thank you very much. How's everything going? Good with sleep? You getting there?
We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, he's
slowly but
he's
sure.
doing great. Yeah, we're he's on the 3-hour feeding plan, so it's all good. So
all about consistency.
That's right.
So for myself, Hamilton, Mike Galletta, and the golf pro at Trump National Golf Course, Dave Cartwright, we want to thank you for watching Teeing Off. We will see you next week. Enjoy the players, folks. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching this episode of The Sports Box. Please remember to follow us on all of our social media outlets. On Facebook at Sports Box Show, Twitter at Sports Box Show, Instagram at The Sports Box Show. Find us on YouTube and join Outside the Box, our Facebook sports discussion group. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And also our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use promo code THEBOX at sign up for 10 free points. Thanks for joining us this evening.